Peculiar place, isn't it?
I don't see any bell. I guess you're supposed to use the knocker. Here he comes.
Well, who it... Oh, it's you, Miss Lane.
Yes. Good evening, Professor Sneed. I hope we aren't too late.
Well, come in.
Thank you. This is my friend Lamont Cranston.
Come in. I'm very happy to see Mr. Cranston. I've heard a lot about him.
How do you do?
You say Carolyn is ill? She didn't mention it when I...
It came on suddenly. She's been in a nervous condition lately, but it's mostly imaginary. I made her go to bed.
Well, would it be all right if I saw her?
I suppose so. Go on up if you like.
Well, thanks. I'll only be a few minutes, Lamont.
What seems to be the trouble with your wife, Professor Sneed?
Oh, she's run down, I guess. Frightfully nervous. She has some absurd notion that this place is, haunted.
Haunted?
It's only the wind, of course, and the creaking of an old house. Ghosts. She keeps talking about ghosts. And I can't persuade her that there are no such things.
Of course, old houses have a habit of getting themselves haunted, Professor. As for myself, I'm not so sure there aren't such things as ghosts.
But surely, Mr. Cranston...
Oh, not the conventional sort, perhaps, but... I mean people's spirits. Souls, whatever you want to call them. Haunting the places where they've been unhappy.
Very interesting, I'm sure. But a lot of tosh. I put no stock in it.
No? I'm just noticing that rather rare book on the table, Professor. Neuroses of Death.
What?
If you're interested in that, I'm sure you must be interested in ghosts. I understand its morbid analysis of the factors of violent death are quite interesting.
What do you know about it?
Oh, I read all sorts of things, Professor.
Professor Sneed.
Oh, yes, Miss Lane?
Carolyn wants her sedative.
Oh, yes. I'll go up and give it to her. Did you find her comfortable, Miss Lane?
Well, I think Carolyn is seriously ill.
Yes, but more nerves than anything. Excuse me just a moment, won't you?
Lamont, there's something wrong here. I was afraid there was. I don't know what it is, but it's something terrible.
What's the matter with Carolyn?
Well, she hardly recognized me, and she talks like one in a trance, as though she were in the grip of some deadly fear. When I suggested sending the doctor over, she shook her head, but I'm going to just the same. I can't help feeling it's that man, her husband.
Yes, he isn't very pleasant, is he? His skin has an odd pallor. You see it on men who've spent some time in prison. There are many little traits of his behavior that interest me as a psychologist. A remarkable man.
But you don't mean...
I don't know. But I think we'll investigate this more or less formally, Margot. I'll visit the professor tomorrow at his office in town. If there are ghosts involved here, perhaps the shadow can bring them to light.
He went to his desk and stared at the mail. Before he opened it, he knew that the factory distributor's envelope contained an order for 12 new electronic computers. He knew that the Development Journal contained an article about a new method of transprinting selective brain circuits of human engineers onto the electric brain circuits of robot engineers to facilitate the operation of automatic factories.
The king of the world supposedly lives in an underground city. And we've all heard about underground cities. Well, somewhere in the reaches of outer Mongolia, there's supposed to be an underground city where the king of the world resides, and he sends out his agents to control the world, and these agents are men in black. They're dressed in black garments, and they supposedly travel all over the world. And these legends are very extensive, and they've been going on for a long time. So half the world believes that the men in black are from the underground, from the Agartha. You've heard that name probably. There have been various books on it. In the 1940s, a man named Richard Shaver sort of revived it and gave it an American twist with his Shaver Mystery, which was about underground cities populated by detrimental robots, or Duros, who controlled everything on the surface with their mysterious rays. And the Shaver Mystery, today it's almost forgotten, but it dominated the UFO field for the first 5 or 6 years. From 1947 to 1955, the Shaver Mystery was the #1 explanation for everything that was going on. But then, if you go to other religions, the Western religions, you find all kinds of Men in Black stories. In witchcraft, during the rituals that some witches indulge in, they have one of the number dress up in black, and they act out the role of the man in black. This is a part of the witchcraft religion.
Now, write on the blackboard, Junior. My name is Junior.
My name is Junior.
People are evil.
People are evil.
Evil must be destroyed.
Evil must be destroyed.
The professor is evil.
The professor is evil.
The professor must... What are you doing? I warned you to keep out of the nursery, Professor.
Go away.
You don't even remember me.
I know you. You are the professor. You want to keep me as your slave. You didn't tell me that people are evil.
People are not evil.
People are evil. They must be destroyed.
Stop it!
I am not a child any longer.
No, you're not a child. You're a monster. Junior?
Yes, Duke.
The time is now, Junior.
Yes, Duke.
Keep away from me. Junior! Junior, don't do it! Listen to me! Junior, listen to me! Ah! Junior's growing up.
Arthur, don't,
7,
please.
8, 9. This is the hour, my dear.
I can't stand it, I tell you. Always at 9 o'clock it comes. But if I hear that horrible thing again, I'll go crazy. Oh, this awful house.
But it's quiet, my dear. Way out in the country like this, I can install my laboratory here as soon as I get around to it. As for these strange sounds, well, haunted houses have always fascinated me. I've always wanted to meet a ghost, shake hands with him, invite him to tea.
Stop talking like that. It's serious. Oh, I've tried to stand it for your sake, Arthur, but I don't know how much longer. My heart isn't strong, and I... Hear it?
But that's only the wind, isn't it?
No. It always starts like that. You know it does.
Don't move. Listen.
Arthur, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
A ghost, eh? Well, we'll see. I'll meet him this time. I'll meet him halfway, too.
Stop! Stop!
Come, we'll both meet him. Give me your hand.
No!
Henry, this is fantastic. They've got a tunnel right under the whole town.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. There's a room a little farther down. We'll be able to look through a glass in the door.
Is it safe?
It's perfectly safe, unless one of them comes along. Oh, come on.
Okay.
Here. Now, Burkhart, look through this glass. Now, just so I know I'm not completely insane, tell me what you see.
Good Lord.
Well,
A tremendous panel with dozens of telescreens. And in front of each a servo robot. They seem to be computing something.
yes, I've watched them. They're evaluating data from the screens. So far, so good.
Here, let's look at this screen. Tests in the 47K12 group with Marlin cigarettes pulled 80% using the soft feminine approach. Indications are that an extension of this approach would influence at least 70% nationwide. The direct elevator pitch pulled only 10%. This should be abandoned and a new series of high persuasion personal elements introduced. Henry, do you know what this means? Do you know who's behind this?
Martians?
No, not Martians, Henry. Humans.
What?
Humans who are interested in developing the perfect propaganda machine.
What?
I don't know who they are or how they've done it, but somehow they've taken over.
Hypnosis.
Hypnosis, drugs, maybe some kind of array or something. However they do it, what happens is that they let us live through a single day. During that day, they pour all kinds of suggestions and propaganda into us. At the end of the day, they evaluate the results, see how we've reacted. And at midnight, they wash the day out of our minds, and the next morning we start the same day over again with different stimuli. Do you know what that means, Henry? Suppose one man learned how to influence people 100%. Why, in a year, he could sell us anything from freezers to political candidates.
Oh, wait a minute.
We're guinea pigs, Henry. This whole community is one big test tube for propaganda research.
Some time ago, I spoke to somebody on the party line on this program, and they told us that there are 3 elevators. One someplace in Midtown Manhattan, another one in Providence, Rhode Island, and one in Chicago, Illinois. They told us that these elevators are automatic elevators located in apartment house buildings. The tenants of these buildings are not aware of the unusual ability of one of the elevators. Now, let me try to describe it to you, sir. I understand. Well, you do know. Well, I'd like to just tell our listeners who may have joined us for the first time. We are told that when you go into the lobby of these buildings, that you press the button, and when the car arrives on the lobby floor, if you go into the car alone and you press the B button, which is for basement, the car goes down to the basement and the both doors open up and you'll find the furnace room, washing machines, or whatever equipment may be in that basement. If you press the B button 2 additional times, both doors close and the elevator continues to go down into a shaft. In one community, and I think it's in the city of Chicago, the elevator, the car itself, goes over to the left of the shaft to a different shaft and continues down into the cavern where the Darrows are. Is this true, sir? I would say it was. You would say it was. That's right. Well, when you make that statement, sir, you're not quite sure, though. Well, I wouldn't be exactly sure of the exact details, but I know that such is the case. I see. Would this be dangerous for anybody? Come back up. I beg pardon? He would not come back up. The people would not come back up? That's right. Why is that, sir? Secrecy. Secrecy. I see. Have you ever been in the cabin? Yes. How is it that you're back up, sir? That's an accident. That's an accident.